Hi,
Hey,
Sai. Gusuyo. Aloha. Hi, Lynn.
hello. Hello, everyone, to our 57th episode of Yuntaku Live. Um, we still have a lot of, interesting stories. Somebody asked me how many, we have so many different amazing stories to share. And so glad that we can continue to bring you this content every other week here on our HUOA YouTube page. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. A lot of people I know actually didn't know that they weren't subscribed. So you have to hit that button down there, the subscribe button, the red button, so you can get all the notifications on our upcoming shows. But hey, John, so how's it going over there at the Hawaii Okinawa Center?
Hey, we're open. I think I
Yeah.
mentioned that at our last show. And, all the classes are excited to start up again. And, so many people have been not practicing. So they all had an excuse, but now we'll start having our Ichigo Ichie class. Hopefully, we'll start up again, and of course our Sanshin class by Nida Imitation Kai, and then of course we have Ikebana, and
Awesome.
we have a lot of actually
Yeah.
activities that are going to start up. Our Monday crafters have already come back.
Oh, good. It's been a long, long time since we've been able to really gather, and I know everyone's just excited to be back. I think we should still be a little, cautious.
Hey,
Hey,
Colin!
Colin from Yomitan, of course.
Oh,
And we
that's our
also have
Wahiawa
Jason,
boy.
Jose,
Yep.
always a regular. Janine in
San
Kanyohe.
Jose in the house. Awesome.
Joanne. I think, Joanne, where are you coming in from? Let us know. Um, and then Jacob from Evo Beach.
Hey,
Hey,
Jacob.
Jacob.
Usually Jacob's here, but he's
I was
busy
going to say,
studying. So,
hey, hi, Courtney. And Maniko calling in from Tokyo. Awesome.
hey,
Wow.
Mariko.
What a nice, wide um, range of people. We have the full Pacific
Yeah,
with us today. Okay.
Pacific
So real
Rim.
quick, um, for those of you who still have your Uchinanchu, I know a lot of things are, and it's in color. For those
I
of you who
know.
know,
I have mine.
you have yours.
Look
Okay,
at that color.
it's
That's,
really, really beautiful,
some
and
of you
there's a
folks may not have, thought that it was not color before, but it wasn't. So it's color now.
Sundays coming in from Kanyohe. All right. But just some upcoming events. We did send out a save the date for Okinawan Festival this year. We're
Mhm.
doing live. We're doing it in person.
Mhm.
That's the plan. So save the date, September 3rd and 4th, Labor Day weekend,
Always Labor Day weekend.
2022.
Yeah.
Um, we will give more details as soon as things are finalized. Of course, given all we're just going back to live events, we still have a lot of things to kind of hammer out, but we are definitely moving forward and everyone is excited. So mark your calendars, September 3rd and 4th, 2022, okinawanfestival.com.
I'm excited. I already got my hotel room. I'm gonna be staying there the whole weekend.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple people actually. They want to know, do I stay Friday night or Thursday night? And I said, well, if you're one of our volunteers, most of you have to be there on Friday to set up. So you
Yeah.
should stay from Thursday, and then anyway. Okay. So we do have a lot of other updates. There's some other events like the Legacy Awards banquet coming up on
Mhm.
July 24th. Mark your
Mhm.
calendars. That'll be at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Coral Ballroom, and we'll be honoring three wonderful honorees that we have this year. We have our late Jane Serikaku,
Yes.
former executive director at the Hawaii Okinawa Center, and a former past president. I think
Mhm.
many of us involved in HUOA dearly, dearly miss Jane. We also have
Yes.
Dr. Mark Mugiishi,
Mhm.
who is from HMSA. Let me remind myself. See, I need his title. Is he president and
And
CEO?
then while you're looking for that, we also have CPB's Paul Yonomini.
Yes, chairman of Central Pacific Corporation. Paul has roots in Nakagusku, and Dr. Mugishi has roots in Nago. So
And
very,
while we
very
were showing off our color pictures, look right in the middle, in the center page, we have all our Uchinanchu of the year in color. So
yes.
go around, get their autographs right here on your Uchinanchu newsletter.
Autographs. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea. There are also Uchinanchu annuals on sale
Mhm.
on our shophuoa.com site. And for those of you who want to just a recap, it's like a yearbook. All the pictures that were in our Uchinanchu are put in one book. Great keepsake for 2021. And those are on sale on our HUOA website.
And if you say which club you want to
That's
uh,
right.
donate to, then $3 of the sale will go to those clubs.
So,
Uchinanchu.
like me, I have multiple clubs, right? So I had to buy two
A
from
lot of
this
books.
club, two from this club, and two from this club, so that it went, evenly to all different clubs.
All
Okay.
right. Tonight we have a special guest. I keep promising everybody that we'll have all kinds of all different hosts, on Yuntaku Live, and they keep saying me. I'm really sorry. I apologize for that. But hey Chris, thanks for the $5.
Hey.
But the reason I'm here tonight is because I brought on another one of my good friends from Okinawa, and a lot of people here in Hawaii also familiar with him. And we have so many wonderful topics and photos to go through that we better hurry up and bring him on, or else we'll be
Yeah.
here to 9 p.m. tonight. So let's bring on Tony Sakuda.
Woohoo.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, hello, aloha, everybody.
Hey,
No,
Hi,
I'm
aloha.
not.
Tony.
I'm not in Hawaii. I'm here in Okinawa. Yes, I'm wearing my what is it called? Kariushi. This is aloha and kariushi all put together.
Yeah,
Good to see you guys.
Awesome.
and that's really who you are, Tony. You are aloha and karyushi put together, as people will find out tonight. But we were laughing because we were trying to figure out when we first met, and we are like, wait, when did we first meet? Because
Yeah.
probably between you and I, the problem is we probably meet too many people. But it's just like, wait, I knew you this time and that other time. But anyway, let's see if we can pull up a few pictures of there's Tony. That's very important, and he'll talk about that a little later. But that's a World
Worldwide, yeah.
Uchinanchu Day, so
Yes.
10 October 30th every year.
Yes.
And then
Hey, that's in
this
Hawaii at
was
the Okinawa
yeah,
Center.
this was a while back. Maybe our opening of the Hawaii Okinawa Plaza. I'm not positive, but
I think
and
so.
Tony, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember this gentleman's name, but this just for everybody. Tony takes me to all these really interesting restaurants, these small little restaurants that for all the many times I've been to Okinawa, I don't go to these restaurants. And he's like, hey, let's just go. And it's like a 5-minute walk. And so this one was right in the middle of Naha. And what was most interesting was not only that he's all these celebrity autographs on the wall, and he didn't ask for my autograph, but that's okay. But he I looked at the mask. You see the mask, I'm forgetting the
On the,
Okinawa name for
oh,
those the oba and the oji
yeah.
mask.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
I said, oh, I said, Tony, that this is what we've been using with hoka for the kids. And that man has a history with that, because he's saying that either his father or his grandfather started that tradition of the masks.
Yeah.
And so
That's
it
right.
was
That's right.
really interesting. And so we're gonna have to go back there, Tony, when next time
Yes.
I get to visit.
Soon.
And
Yes.
then of course we were there with Laverne and Dennis, uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
and that restaurant was amazing. That place, what was the name of that
I
set of
don't know,
restaurant?
but that
you
there.
don't
I
know.
don't know if you have that picture with all the sticks there, but
Yeah, that was it was so much food. I didn't want to show it. I was embarrassed.
okay. All right.
And but we ate probably more than 100
A
sticks that
hundred
night.
of those sticks. Yes.
And
Yeah.
so as you can see, the more I ate and drank, the smaller my eyes got. So in this picture, my eyes are pretty small. But
That's
you
why you're
know,
hiding behind Dennis.
yeah, he takes me to all these wonderful restaurants. And so again,
Oh,
I love meeting Tony in Okinawa, actually anywhere, because I really truly feel like he's a brother from another mother. When we talk
That's
about
right.
issues, I we believe the same way. We get passionate about the same things. And so I'm really looking forward to really introducing a lot of you to him tonight. And so we'll
very
start
good.
with
Don't strip me now. Don't strip me away.
No, no, we want people to know you so that when they see
Okay.
you in Okinawa, they'll be like, "Hey, there's Tony." So, but let's start with finding out more about you. I'm gonna have Lynn start with some questions so we can all find out.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well,
Okay.
before
Good.
we jump to your family history, actually, I just
Okay.
wanted to know. So, you're currently the president of WUB International. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yes. For
So that's
WOW,
the Worldwide
Worldwide
Uchinanchu
Uchinanchu
Business.
Business. Yes.
You're
Yes.
also the president, I understand, of the American Chamber of Commerce in Okinawa, right?
American Chamber of Commerce here in Okinawa. Yes. In
And
Japan, we have
Canada.
two American Chamber of Commerce. One
Ah,
American Chamber of Commerce of Japan and one
mhm.
American Chamber of Commerce here in Okinawa. That was because of the reversion.
Mm.
The chamber
Ah,
came into Okinawa in 1953, and then after the reversion, then our chamber stayed on here in Japan. So we have two big chambers here in Japan itself, one Okinawa
sounds
and one
really
mainland Japan.
very unique to Okinawa, huh?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just wanted to give everyone that context, and also your work with Okinawa Travel Service (OTS).
Okinawa Tourist Service.
You guys,
Yes.
for the guy in one of those previous photos, you had the blue and
The
white
blue
aloha
blue
print. Yeah,
uniforms,
that's a
blue
very
and white uniforms.
classic
Yep. Classic ones. Yeah.
OTS
Oh my God, you can
aloha
see them
shirt.
from a mile away.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So we don't get lost, or our customers don't get lost. So that's the main thing. Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna jump back a little bit and kind of
Okay.
talk about your family history. So
Okay.
can you tell us? You have a very fascinating family. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background and your early years? And this is your
Sure.
parents?
Yes, that's my parents. That's my dad right there and my mom. This was taken on my first birthday. So they celebrated that. My dad is from the Philippines, and my mom is from here in Okinawa. And that's my brother right in the middle right there. He's 3 years younger than I am. And yeah, and he lives in Hawaii right now. So
Oh,
just you could look him up, Ken Sakuda, and then, just see how he's doing. He's a podiatrist. He, takes care of everybody's foot doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, my dad's name was Santos, Santos,
Mhm.
and my mom is Sakuda, so that's where I
Wow,
picked up my name, Sakuda, Tony Sakuda. Yeah, and we
very
used to go to
cool.
the beach every Sunday, or every Sunday was a family day, so we always stuck around together. Yes,
And this is in Okinawa?
these are all in Okinawa. Yes,
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Can I ask a question? What was it like having, like a biracial family in Okinawa at the time? This is
You, you
what
know,
era?
we never thought about it. I was born in 1962. Okay,
So
so
before
but
reversion, right?
yes,
So this,
that's 10 years before reversion, because reversion 1972. But
mm-hmm,
I never, and I went to an international school, so it's all
mm-hmm,
English speaking school. It was a private Catholic school, and everybody was like myself. There's Indians, there's Americans,
mm-hmm.
there's Chinese, there's Filipinos, there's everybody was mixed. So we all studied in English in school. Once you're in the playground, everybody's speaking champuru, meaning you have Chinese, you have you have Uchinaguchi, you have Chinese, you have English, everything all Nihongo and everything all in the playground. But once you're back in class, everything's in English. So never felt different that your other parent is
Mm-hmm.
from foreign land. I thought that this was just regular with everything. But I know
Nice.
that the school right across ours it's a Japanese school. That's all I noticed.
Mhm.
But there was no discrimination. There was nothing, racial things, nothing. Yeah.
Wow. Tell
Okay.
us about this photo a little bit.
Yes, this photo is a picture that was taken when we were doing our 50-mile hike. Okay, this was when we were in the Boy Scouts. So we were in the Boy Scouts, and we went camping, and we did 50 miles. This was, I think, overnight or 2 or 3 nights. We went up north all the way up to Hedo, going around Okuma and everything. We did camping in the mountains, and we had to carry some of our foods and everything. So it was just a picture that we took. Myself, my brother. I'm the one with a hat on the end, and my brother's right next there, and then with all my buddies there during the Boy Scout time. Yeah, so
Oh,
this picture, I'm
this,
sure that you know this is Waikiki.
I was
Okay.
just gonna ask, is that Waikiki? Holy cow. Look how big the
Yeah,
beach is. It's all eroding now. Sorry.
That's
yeah,
true. Of course, I didn't notice that when I saw that picture. I said, "Wow, you guys all have the same aloha shirt."
Uchinachi. Yeah,
That's the way how
very
you're supposed to
cool.
do in Hawaii, right? That
Yeah,
was
I
my
Yeah,
first
guess.
trip
You
to
know, you all
Hawaii.
go to Hilo Hattie's and buy the same shirt.
There you
nice.
go.
So this is, let's see, this
This
is which
was
your
I think
eighth
was
grade?
in my eighth
Yeah,
grade year, I think.
eighth grade
Yeah,
photos, and I think
yeah.
that's really I'd like to share that story with. So Okinawa has been, a crossroads for so many, you know, centuries, decades, and even in the modern area. And a lot of people like Tony, that a lot of international schools and people who have grown up from different backgrounds there. And so that's one thing that I really love about Okinawa is, especially just like in particular in the Chubu area, especially,
Yes,
right? Like there's so many different
especially.
cultures mixing there. And I'm just looking at your class picture here, and
I
that
know
definitely just shows.
everybody is mixed. I mean, it looks like in that
Yeah.
photo. I mean,
But
very
which one
few
is
are
you?
not.
Okay, there,
Oh,
I was just
you
gonna say I
found
can't
me.
tell which one is you.
You found me.
Look at
I
that
was hoping you
hair.
wouldn't find me there.
Look at that
Classic.
hair. You were allowed to have that hair at a Catholic school.
Well, yeah, somehow,
Somehow
somehow.
it was cool at the time. They just let it go.
That's right.
You know,
That's
I
right.
I only say that because I went to a Catholic school, and I think yours was Sister Catalina, or was it something like
Y-
that?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
And of course, I went for
Oh,
disciplinary reasons. I'm sure you went for education, but yeah,
so this was what was the name of the high school?
There's a name is Christ the King International School.
Oh, okay, okay, I see.
Yes, yes.
So,
So I went there from kindergarten to high school. Yes, and that was my
wow.
graduating class picture. We were a very small school,
Hmm.
and this is the senior class picture. Only 32 of us. The whole seniors are just only 32 of us.
did you
That's
have
it.
prom?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay,
Yeah. So
I mean,
it was small, not compared to you guys with all the other schools around.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Very cool. Well,
yeah.
let's see. And then where did you go after high school?
Well, right after high school, I wanted to see what mainland Japan is and everything. So as soon as I got out, I got my buddies, six of us. We went up to Tokyo and we worked into a little what do you call a 6 months contract
Hmm.
with Hino trucks, building
mm,
trucks
Yeah.
and working in a factory just to see how that was. So we went there, and then the first day we arrived, we oh, this is Tokyo, without our parents now, right? So these are
Mhm.
just boys just getting, 18 years old, getting out and on their own, and it was fun. But one thing that's the first time I think I found out that you know people in Tokyo at that time didn't know what Okinawa was.
Mm.
When I started into the factory, one of these guys came out and says, "You guys wear slippers? Do you guys have newspaper? Do you all speak
Mm.
English only?" So these are just some questions that most of the mainland Japanese at that time didn't know what Okinawa was. How close we are. We are Japanese. So this was already 1980, right?
Yeah. So I was
So
gonna say after about almost a decade after we.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, after reversion. So we were using yen already because
Mhm.
until 72 we were using dollars.
mhm.
And then
Right.
in 1972 we started using the yen. And so that's the first time I felt it. Wow, people,
But
really don't know
that
this yet.
that's funny you say that, right? Because same thing here, right? I had people in college, right? We're only a year apart, and I had people in college going, "Hawaii, you guys have traffic lights?"
Grass
So
huts. Grass huts, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that island community mentality, they're like, "You guys are on an island. Do you guys have McDonald's?" It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think it's always an interesting thing to see, like, the Okinawa is very different from, mainland Japan, right? So they're very
yes,
different from Japan with its own
yes.
culture, like with its own, language. But um there
So
are a
what
lot
did
of,
what? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna ask. And so, like, can I ask a random question? Were you there when they switched from driving on the right side of the road to the left side of the road? How old
Yes,
were you?
yes,
and
yes.
and I heard it was
That was
terrifying.
that was because you know you hear that the road's gonna go to the other side next tomorrow,
Right. So
right?
1972. Okinawa reverts from
72 was just only when the dollar changed. I think it was in
okay.
1977. I think no 74. I'm sorry. If you Google it,
Oh, you Google
the
it,
road
yeah.
change. That was I know it, but it was on July 30th because that's
Yeah.
when they call it Nanasan Maru. That's
Yeah.
what everything 730. So you you get out of the house and then you want to cross the street. Usually you look your left, and then you go right. But this time you look this way, there's no cars coming from here, and you put a step, and then there's cars are honking on you already. So there was many
I heard it
accidents
was
that morning.
I heard it was a scary time in
It
Okinawa.
was all the traffic lights. They had the old traffic lights had the covers on. The new ones they pull out the covers because it's all facing the wrong way. The buses they had their the drivers on one side. Some buses were not on time coming in from mainland Japan. So
Mm.
what they did is they cut a door just to make the people come in. And the taxis, as you know, here in Japan, they have automatic doors. So those doors didn't match either. So you got to open up the door on this side. You got to come back into the traffic area to get into the car. So lots of mess. Everybody trying to drive, making a turn. When you turn, you go into the wrong road. So there's many accidents at that time. It was
Wow.
interesting, I think.
Yeah. So my understanding is, like after you had that experience in Tokyo,
Yeah.
then you found yourself coming to college here in Hawaii.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. I had a upperclassman who went to Hawaii first, and then he came back from Hawaii, and he said, we're at this college, and then he's like an ambassador for the college itself, for the university, and he came to our senior class, said, okay, if you guys are planning to go to Hawaii or go to college, I recommend this Chaminade University in Hawaii. I said, okay, Hawaii. I've been there when I was a kid to Waikiki, but thinking of university, I was thinking maybe should I go to the Philippines or did I do this?
Yeah.
Because of my dad. So didn't have any thoughts of going to the States. But when he mentioned Hawaii, I said that might be interesting. My mom had a friend in Hawaii, so I said, okay, maybe we could talk about that, look at that, and then that was just one option that I had. I should have said option, only one way. So I said, okay, let's try it. And that started my Hawaii connection, I should say, the real connection. So that's
you
when I
found
went to
yourself
Chaminade.
at Chaminade. You found yourself at Chaminade University.
Right.
He was.
I
Can you imagine? He was on the same campus
You know,
that I was on
You're
because
at
I
St.
was
Louis.
I was at St. Louis High School, and unfortunately, I graduated right before you got there. I graduated in the spring, and you got there in the fall. So
Right.
luckily, I didn't run you over as I sped onto campus because I was late for class. But
Right.
yeah, I
So I
mean,
remember that campus had all these bumps,
speed
those
bumps.
speed bumps. That really messed up everything, all the cars. Yeah.
Especially when you're speeding. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you also worked here,
Well,
had a job.
yeah. I didn't want to touch that too much, but yes, I did. I should say I had an internship. Let's say that.
Internship.
There you go. Yes.
So you were here in Hawaii as a college student. I just imagine it was probably a pretty fun time, right? At that, it's a booming time in Hawaii. And what were some of the memories you have of coming to being, a college student here?
One thing, of course, being away from home, and that's always exciting, and that's always interesting, and trying to find out that, wow, I have to do all my paperwork, get my pay this, pay that. You got to do everything on your own. Before this time, your parents had done everything, so all the responsibilities come on you. And then now, once I get used to the college campus and everything, now you want to move out, get your own apartment. And one thing I found out in Hawaii is that there are so many mango trees on this. In most homes have their mangoes, and when mangoes fall, they just leave it there. And as you know, right here in Okinawa, one mango is about the most cheapest one is 500-600 yen, and then it could get as big as what, 10,000, 14, 15,000 yen.
Mhm.
That's a lot. And then I'm thinking, all these mangoes, all dollars are all falling down on the street. So it was just crazy. So what I used to do is, because I used to just walk to school and see mangoes, I pick it up, it's all in the streets. I pick it up, put it in my backpack, take it home. And then my friend said, if you just want to have ripe mangoes, put it in newspaper and put it into your rice, rice,
I didn't
because
know
it makes the same what do you call temperature and everything, and then it ripes very well. So I did that, many times. Really enjoyed the mango.
that. Really cheap, free mangoes. Yeah, I think you're actually
Mango.
you're not the first person from Okinawa to tell me that they were just floored by the amount of mangoes rotting on the ground. It was like
Yes.
horrifying to them that they were
Yes.
like, "Oh, these delicious mangoes." That's
So does
That's
that
right.
mean that all these families along Kapahulu have a story of like, yeah, there was this guy, this boy would walk past our house and just steal our mango every day.
hala. Okay, so let me. So after college, I understand you got a business degree or
Yes, I did. Business, yes.
degree in business, right? Um,
Yes.
but and I know you've had a very wonderful business career in many different areas, and so I understand you returned back to Okinawa after
I
that.
got back into Okinawa,
Mm-hmm.
and what am I gonna do?
Mm.
So what I first did was I went into a trying to learn hospitality,
Mm.
because I took one class in Hawaii in UH for
Mm-hmm.
the tourism industry management.
Mm-hmm.
So took a class over there, and then came back to Okinawa because my dad was in the travel industry also. So I said, okay, what is all this industry all about? So I got into the hotels. There was a Regent Hotel here in Okinawa, and then I got in there, and then just waiters, doing banquets, trying to see what this was all about. And I stayed there for a year, and then after that, then I was in Kokusai Street, and then there was this one tacos place. Okay, the Mexican
Mm.
tacos, and then
Mm.
went there, and then there was this one American guy. He was wiping the tables and everything, and then my girlfriend at that time, she said, "Okay, oh, that guy's a famous guy here in Japan." And then he's a lawyer, and then he does this businesses, and he goes on TVs and everything. I said, okay. I never saw him because I never I didn't know who he was, but I approached him and I said, "Excuse me, sir, do you own this place?" And then I heard that you're very successful. He said, "Yes." I said, "What should I do to be like you?" He said, "Well, you can come and work with me. Send me your resume." I said, "Okay." Sent him my resume. A month later, I joined that company. I went up to Tokyo, trained in that company, and then brought that here in Okinawa. And then we did that business for about a year and a half, I think, and that was it. But that was a tacos place we opened up in Okinawa City, and then we had some stores in Naha, Kokusai Street, and it was very interesting. It was fun. It was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, taco time.
yeah. Taco time. Yes.
Yeah. And then how did you get into
The
OTS or
travel.
Okinawa
Yes.
Travel Service? Yeah.
With that, the tacos didn't go too well. It was okay.
Good experience, right? Good
Yes, it
experience.
is. It was very good experience. And the company had to pull out the franchise out of Okinawa. I said,
Mm.
okay. And then my dad, he saw me just staying home, right? And he said,
Mm.
okay, what are you going to do? I said, well, I don't know. He said, here, he's retired already by then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked me, what do you want to do? I said, he said, I got friends at OTS. I said, what's that? Okinawa Tour Service, right? I said, I don't want to be a travel agent. I told him, you're never home on
Mm.
holidays and on
Um,
all these weekends. You're always out of the house. You're never on island. That's not a way of living. So
mm.
and then the following week I went for an interview, and that's 30 years later now. So I've been in the travel agent for 30 years.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
30 years of wonderful travel, and seems like I think you told me that there was something about traveling. Remember the words you told me that you said you didn't want to be that person. And what person was that?
What did I say? What? I'm
You
sorry.
said,
I lost you. You're trying to get. What did I say?
you said, I don't want to be that person that's always saying goodbye.
True.
I
Yes.
I
Yes.
want to
Yes.
be that person
Yes.
getting on
Yes.
that plane and
Yes. That
going
is
to
correct.
see all these
Yes.
places, right?
Yes. Yes. That's
And
correct.
so,
Yeah.
uh,
That started out when I was in Hawaii, and I had a
yeah,
lot of friends coming into Hawaii, because I was there. And then every time they come on island in Hawaii, I take them around, being like a tour guide, saying, "Yeah, this is the best place to eat. Go to Rainbows, go get your, things, get your plate lunch, just driving around the island." And every time then I take them back to the airport, and then I'm sure that you remember during that time, this was in the 80s, you still can go up to the
All the way
main
to the
gate.
gate. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
go up to the gate, and then wave your friends by, and then you could almost see them get onto the plane, right?
yeah,
Maybe you might see them on their window in their planes and just say bye. But I'm there. This was at night, about maybe 9, I don't know, 8, but it was dark already with a very nice sunset and everything, and just looking over and it's by myself, and I'm saying, I don't like saying goodbye. You know, I want to be on that plane, be able to travel.
mm,
And I said, I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to see how many, worlds I can see. And at that time, I didn't know how many countries there were. I'm sure there's 192 or 100, close to 200 countries right now, right? And then see, and every time I look at the Olympics, I said, wow, look at all those countries. Look at all those flags. How peaceful and how wonderful it will be just to go and see these people around the world. And
Yeah.
one thing I found out is that when I talk about Olympics, right, I
Mm-hmm.
had an opportunity with my travel to go to the Atlanta Olympic. And then
Mm.
with that, and again, I was very lucky to get a ticket to the opening ceremony. I
wow,
Oh.
was there because I was, like the tour conductor. We took 100 karatekas from
Mm.
Okinawa
mm,
to to Atlanta to perform at one of the shows in Atlanta. And with at that time, then I see all the crowds, in the flag ceremony when all the countries are being announced, and then you see that not just anybody can come here. The
Mm.
athletes, they work their life, their 4 years, their 8 years, the whole life just to be there to get that gold. And then all the people in the stands are looking at them. And at the same time, they're not just the lucky people, they are the supporting people. They are people who love all these athletes and people who love the world. They are there. And I was just thinking of that. And then as the athletes are going around the stadium, and then Japan came around at that time. And then, when they announced Japan at that time, they said, Nippon, Nippon, papa, that's the way how they were doing it. But once that Japan flag came right in front of me, I said, wow, goosebumps. I said, oh man, I'm so lucky. And I don't know why, just tears just started to flow. It was just, I said, I'm so lucky. I'm so
Have
lucky.
yet to visit
So,
an Olympics, but I think we'll come
yeah,
back to that, right? Like how the Olympics actually comes back into your.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
we'll
So, but
surprise people with that
with
one.
that, yeah, with that travel one, I said yes. So I wanted to travel around the world. That's when I set my thing and said I'm going to travel around the world. So that's
But
that's
also,
what.
I also want to make sure that people know that you're very well embedded in the Okinawa community,
Mhm.
Mm,
and you know, you tell me that you go down to the, I guess that's right near Ginowan Convention Center down at the beach,
that's correct.
and you have this wonderful group you meet up with, and
Ooh.
you eat amazing, amazing food. Just what is that? What is that group? Can you tell us about?
Yes, this is a group that I've been. I go to the beach every morning. Okay, almost every morning. I wake up at 5:55. I'm in the beach. I'm in the water by 6:25. Okay, every day, even throughout the year. And um,
Ooh.
once I get there, I just do my swim, do my 1K swim, and then do run on the beach. And then the people I meet there are just ojisan, obasan, just doing
Mm.
their thing. They do walk, they swim, and then once they do their thing, they all gather, bring their own drinks, maybe a coffee or something, and whatever they had for last night, they just bring it and share. and then we just sit down and just Yuntaku, just for about 10-15 minutes, and then everybody's
Mm.
goes their way back again. So it's just like this every day. The fish and then the Okinawa soba, what you see here is what we did on January the 1st. Every year, January the 1st,
Wow.
we bring in more food and just to say, yes, we give thanks for the year to come, and just to ask blessings for the year, for everybody's safety, and and thank for everybody's friendship and health and prosperity for the year. So that's what we do every year, every day.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
and there was it January 1st when you had the somebody playing and you guys did that
Sanshin.
atame and kachashi.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we have a friend who brings his sanshin all the time, and then he just plays, and then everybody just gets into the mood. In the background we have the waves, and then we have the birds chirping here
Mm.
and there, and then we have the beautiful, the wind. And but once you hear that music, right, it feels like, yes, yeah, it puts you back and said, okay, yeah, we are together. This is something that we're just bonding together, and then with nature and with everything together.
Yeah, you
So that's
shared
just
that video with us. Let's see if we can pull
We
that
have
up.
it. Let's see.
that's the one with our friend.
Oh, that's so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And some
That
people
happens
ask me,
often.
yeah, how do Okinawans live so long? And I was like, that's that scene right there. Just
Yeah.
being outside together with each other, music,
That's it.
Yeah.
dancing. I mean, that's
That's
that
it.
that kind of sums it up right there, right?
Yeah. No
You're very
stress, no nothing. You're just there, just with a flow with everybody. That's
And
it.
then you continue to not only every morning like that, but you meet people in the community. That's you have seems like you have audiences with Governor Tamaki. We got some more photos. Let's see what we got here.
Let's see.
Um,
Wow.
Yes.
just a
Yes.
little.
Governor Tamaki.
Yes. This one was right outside the prefectural office,
Mm-hmm.
and right across the street there's this little soba house. Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
that lady there is a soba house owner, right? And then I was just eating lunch one day, and Denny Tamaki, the governor, came around, and he was eating his lunch, and I said, Governor, let's take picture. And I said, I got the owner over, and we just took his picture, took the picture. As you can see in the back, right, that's the menu there, and then the pricing is still at 500 yen. It's
Yeah,
only
Wow.
500 yen for
Haven't,
all those soba
amazing.
and
haven't changed in
champuru and
years.
everything. Never changed. Never change.
Wow.
Yep.
There's Desmond.
Yes.
Desmond. Okay, social. Um, so you seem to know,
Okay.
I
Let me
think
see.
as one of the, like you're bilingual, right? And so I think you are able to network with so many different people in Okinawa, stateside here or here in Hawaii, maybe, like from all over the place. So I think you're
Yes.
oh,
So,
we
Yes.
had another.
so the governor has the book. Did you present
Has the
him with
book.
that?
Yes. Yes, I did.
That's
Yeah.
Hmm.
For all our friends who don't know that book, that is the book what Desmond made, and then it's like, I love Okinawa. It's just the daily things that you see here in Okinawa. It's all made in cartoonish way, in manga way, but
Hmm.
Desmond is a very good artist, and then it's a very nice book that you could just pick up and just see that the daily happy life, that brings you smile on a daily basis. So I just had to present that. Yeah. So this is a picture in which we welcome the Maui students, because Maui and Miyako are sister cities, sister towns, I think, and then in which the Maui students were coming over from for homestay to experience Okinawa and Miyako. So that's when we welcome them at the airport. We do that.
Oh
We used to
wow,
do
my
that every
other
year.
good friend John Taba on the end there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that guy in the middle.
Yes, yes. This was when we were in Naha. I think when introduced you to the pork tamago,
Yes,
right?
Kiyomura-san.
Kiyomura-san,
Oh,
yes.
You know, and Lynn,
yeah. The
Tony literally just came and said, you gotta meet this guy. He's like literally just kidnapped me from the hotel. I think
That's
it
right.
may have even been the day that I was supposed to leave. So I went
That's
to the
right.
airport twice uh,
Yeah,
because he wanted
at
me
least
to
he fed
try.
you.
Yes, he wanted me to try this portamago and meet Kiyomura-san because again, Tony being Tony, he wanted to, Kiyomura-san was going to open one here in Hawaii. So, he wanted us to meet so I could help him with his efforts to open one. And sure enough, a few months later, he opened uh, the
At
one
the
in
Royal Wine,
Waikiki.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
that's
Very
right.
cool.
Yeah.
Tony just seems to know everybody.
yeah, he
I think that's
does.
part of
See, and
your
and and that's the one at
business
the
network.
Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
they participated in our festival event
Oh,
that we did
okay,
last
good.
year. As you know, a lot of restaurants we were trying to encourage to have specials before our Okinawan festival, and they were one of the participating restaurants. So pork
Yeah.
tamago.
And then
Nice,
Nice.
nice.
along the lines of Tony being so involved, here he is. He's probably getting ready for Naha Tsunahiki,
That's
and
right.
Oh, the
you
tug of
know
war.
Yeah,
he is the MC. He's the voice. So all of you that are watching this show, if you ever go to Okinawa and you go to the Naha Tsunahiki, usually this second Sunday in October,
Mhm.
they you hear this voice come over, all the just echoing through Highway 58, and you're going, wow, that guy speaks really good English. That's Tony. That's Tony,
yay.
Sakuda emceeing the Tsunahiki, and he
Very cool. That's a big deal.
and you
It
said you
is.
had fun. Tell us about your experience at Tsunahiki.
I always have fun, that um getting there is it's as you know, it's hot. It's really
Mm,
hot here in October. You got the
Mhm.
humidity and everything, but all that heat is, I shouldn't say goes away, but it's worth it because you see all these people around the world. You know, all of Asia's here, the Americans here, the Japanese is here. Locals are here. Everybody just mixing just to have a great time. And what are they doing? Just pulling rope, right? But that rope, as you all know, for who've experienced and seen this tug of war, it's a giant rope, and then it
Yep.
is part of the Guinness World Records, and then it's over 200 meters long and thousands of tons uh,
wow.
weight. And then they have the east and west in the beginning of the war, the tug of war. You have the flag festival of the seven flags of the east and seven flags of the west. They do the flag dance and trying to see who's the strongest and who
Mhm.
won't tip over their own town flags. And
These
so
are really tall hatagashiras. They're really
it
Right.
is,
tall.
it
They're
is.
just balanced right on their hands
Just
and
that is
their
correct. Yeah,
oh,
yeah. And then before that, after that they do the flag, then you have the karate demonstrations. All the masters come out and they just show off their kata and trying to see, yes, I am strong, I am able to go, even the fireworks that's happening right in front of them is not going to affect them. They're still concentrated, they're going into their kata and then just for their performance, just to go and then show and then give blessing to this the tug of war. And then we have the Naha Mares
ooh,
there, and then this big joining the two ropes together. Right, we have this big stick, I should say. It's a big
yeah.
log that you go between the two ropes, pulls them together, and that one is 365 centimeters long. So it's 1 year length, right? 365 days,
Oh,
365 meters long, 365 inches, I said centimeters. So
centimeter.
3 meters, yeah. And then we have the heroes of the Ryukyu Kingdom come from the east and the west, and
Yes,
then they go on top
Gosamaru
of the
and
rope.
Amawari. Mm.
That's right, Gosamoto Amari. They come into the center, and then they do their little fight dance, and it's just to say, yes, I am the king of the east, I'm the king of the west. We're going to win this year, and then just trying to show off their strength and get, again, showing all the participants that yes, this war is going to happen. And the celebration ball opens. When the ball is opened, then the mayor is going to bring down the flag, and then the tug of war begins. And once that tug of war begins, it's 30 minutes or 5 meters left or right. That's going to determine the winner. Okay. So we'll see. And then,
Yeah.
so it always
Everybody has to go and do this once. You have to put this on your bucket list. I put together a real short video just to give people some sense of what it's like to be there. Let's see if we can pull
Is the
that up.
video here? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh
It
man.
always brings back good
Um,
feelings.
Yes. That
yes, and then
music,
you're supposed to cut the
sound,
rope.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's just pumping, bum, 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 bum. And when they say hi, yeah, that's when you got a pull, right?
Mm.
I
Mm.
think that one of those scenes that you just saw there is that the ropes are, we got to pull the ropes together. That's not the war yet. We're just pulling it together. And there was one time, I think John was there at that time, and the east and west has to come together. And then there was one time in which I think the east pulled too much, that they came in too close, that we're not able to pull on the ropes. So I had to ask all the east people to pull the ropes back out and to make it straight. So what I had to do is got my mic. I started talking to the people, and once you start talking to the people, right, there's 200,000 people. Now imagine this: my one voice is saying stop, pull. They pull. Go. They pull more, and I said stop again. They all stop. If I say pull right, they go to the right. If I say left, they go to the left. Imagine controlling or being in power for 200,000 people. That's great feeling.
So you're the voice of the Naha Tsunahiki だね。
Yeah, that's it. So, 楽しいですよ. It's fun.
Mm. Yeah, that's a awesome. And then there are tunihikis all over Okinawa, and
Yes.
so I don't want mislead anyone. All the villages and towns have their. There's a center right there,
Yes, that's the center one. This is when it's finished already. Yes.
and
That's the final one.
but definitely Naha's the biggest one. So
That's correct.
In the world, yeah.
In the world. Yes.
Very, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. Next time we'll it is quite the event. You kind of have to plan in advance. You don't just show up at the Naha Matsuri because it's like this huge, blocked traffic for miles around. But it is something definitely that everyone I feel like should try and experience at least once.
oh yes, I always
I
love
just remember
taking.
it was so crowded, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is longer than I thought. My hands are sore. I'm pulling, and I was like, oh oh wow, this is harder than like I don't know what I was expecting, but I was like, this is hard work.
All the Obasans on my tour, they said, I'm not going to pull. I said, no, you have to pull. Just pull. And then, if you don't like it, you can get out. And once they start pulling, they're the loudest ones and pulling the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyway, all of you, next time you go to Okinawa, plan for at least once, go during the Naha Tunahiki. And then you can tell everybody around you, you hear that voice? I know
the guy.
him.
That's Tony Sakuda.
I know the guy. I know him.
Yeah.
But speaking about, yeah, we mentioned earlier about going around the world. I wanna have people know all the places you've gone, and I know Lynn wanted to ask you all kinds of questions about that. But how many countries have you been to?
I've been to 56 countries.
Wow, that's a lot. So
That was
Wow.
very good opportunity, very good privilege, a benefit that the company had given me, an opportunity to see the world and see people, and just being able to visit those countries, not just only once, but on a repeated many times on those different countries, and just to see why do people call each of these places home, right? What is home? I don't think it's just the building itself or a house. I think it's the people that you're going back to, and then people who you talk to, people who you celebrate certain things with, and be able to mix, maybe if you drink or if you don't drink, but be able to sit down and talk with. Those are the places I think you will be able to call home, and just being able to repeat places is, so I would consider Hawaii another home for me. All these other places that I can go out and just share and just talk and have a good time with.
wow,
Yes.
so we're just gonna take a few, scan through some of the photos of places you've been. So
Okay.
clearly, this is the Arctic Circle. Where is this?
This is in Finland. In Finland.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So this is where the Santa's village is. And there I had an opportunity to meet Santa. And, some people may laugh like we're just doing Lynn, but if you see Santa, this guy is real, man. He is
In
real.
Finland.
Finland, you got to go to Santa's
Okay,
village,
okay.
and then you sit on his lap, and then you see his eyes. He speaks, I don't know how many languages. I only speak English and Japanese. This Santa, he speaks multiple languages. Right in front of me there was
Wow.
a Korean group. Another one in line was from the European countries. Another one was Spanish countries, and he's just speaking away with all these people. And I looked at his
Wow.
eyes, right? He had the most beautiful eyes this Santa had. And I said, yeah, Santa's real. So you're gonna be a good boy. You're really gonna be a good girl. So Santa is real. So you gotta go and see him. I had an
Right.
opportunity to take the students every year back to Santa's village, and there you
There
go,
he is.
Santa
There he
right
is.
there.
Yep.
And my
Wow.
smile is real smile. I'm seeing.
Wow. So it looks like you've been to Argentina. Well, Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil.
Yes,
And
this is taken right at the Iguas Falls, and this is
Mhm.
at the border in which the Argentina, Brazil, and
wow.
Paraguay joins together. Yeah, again, this was one of my tours with all the worldwide Uchinanchu people, and this was one of the celebrations that you see here with all the Uchinanchus getting together and celebrating. And then this is one of the seminars that we held for all the Asian countries, for all
Mm.
the Uchinanchus, and just a big gathering here that we had. Yes, so after a meeting, and this is just one of the photos that I don't know if you recognize the third gentleman, the shorter one. He is what is that now? Not the
Mayor?
governor. No. He is Kishida. He's
Oh,
the
um,
the yeah,
current prime minister.
current um what do you call him? I'm
Prime
lost.
minister.
Prime Minister?
The prime minister. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yep. We had a meeting here in Okinawa, and this is just another picture when I took students to Canada. And we just
Wow.
that was the first time they rode a yellow bus for a school bus. So that was a picture. So this is when they're seeing the first time for snow. Another
Victoria
picture,
Island.
Victoria Island. Yes, being everybody. And this was
Ooh.
a picture in South America. Just to show that
bears.
Orion bear is out there too. They're around the world. Yeah, and this was in Peru, in which the governor of Okinawa at that time also came. We were celebrating the 100th year of the Okinawa Kenjinkai in Peru. So, I had the opportunity
Really
to
a
go.
worldwide Uchinanchu
Yes. So that
network.
is another picture there. Yes, and that's
Machu
me up in
Picchu.
Machu Picchu. Yes, had the opportunity to see that with
Ooh.
some of the llamas there. Yes, and this was one of the memorial tours in the Philippines, because
Mm.
before the war, there were many Okinawans that immigrated to the Philippines, and many families, people who were born there, raised there, and then
Mhm.
also lost their lives. But many of the families who came back to Okinawa wanted to go back and celebrate that for a memorial friendship
Wow.
in the Philippines, in Davao. Yeah, so we do that every year. So this is my picture with the president
I
of
was gonna say, uh,
yeah, yeah,
in the Philippines.
yes. So this is another picture. This is in Brazil. They had a celebration of the
Wow.
Ryukyu night in one of their very, very beautiful halls in Brazil. And this was another picture of the same thing in Philippines.
Philippines.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
that's the beautiful hall in Brazil that they
Wow.
had a Okinawan night, Ryukyu night.
Kachashi
So
no.
all songs and dance. Yes, this was when everyone's doing kachashi.
Wow. Where
Yes,
is
Oh
this?
wait, stay on this
this is a
photo.
Where is
Yeah.
this one.
それ
Yes,
沖縄なんだ。
Yeah.
yes, that is the Okinawan island in the pond. Yes, so this was in the one of the centers in Brazil, the Okinawa Center in Brazil, in which they put up all the picture, what do you call, flags of all the shosong, the cities and
Mm.
towns, and in the center that is the Okinawa island.
Okay, John, I have
Wow.
an idea for Okinawa HOC pond now.
Yes, I
There
know.
you go.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is another picture in the Philippines, with when I took a group of people there, and this is a picture in, I'm sure John likes that, right? All the shishimai
Shishima.
there, and this was at one of the festivals in Brazil.
mm,
It's just fascinating to see all the similarities. I can't actually tell
Yes,
unless there's a sign or something, right? Like, oh, this is Brazil, Peru. The
yeah,
costumes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
our worldwide Uchinanchu network is strong.
That's it. That's it. So this is just one of the companies that we visited during our tour. It is Okinawa owned. It's a cake and cookie and bread company owned
mm.
by Uchinanchu. Yes,
Yeah,
and
so Steve.
yeah, and this is when we were visiting one of the Mariko's right there in the center,
Mhm.
translating for us. She is, and this was when we were visiting Kofema. They are one of the big wholesalers for hardware goods, hardware store, and they are owner is Mr. Teruya. Okay, and then they are one of the biggest wholesalers in all of Brazil. I would say
Wow.
you count them in the five fingers, right? Maybe a top five
Wow.
companies in all of Brazil. So very big, very very nice gentlemen and everything. They welcomed us so
An
much.
Okinawan family, Okinawan owned.
Okinawan family. Yep, yep, very nice.
So
Yeah,
this is
so
looks like
like you said, so this is again, this is in Brazil, in one of the near the towns, and they had this entrance that we had. Just we were doing a big celebration for the Okinawa festival in Brazil. Again,
ooh,
Okinawa soba in Brazil.
Oh.
Right?
this could be wow.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is fascinating.
Parade.
I'm yet to go to Brazil. I feel like that's definitely a place I need to go because I know I have relatives there.
Yes,
Um,
there you go. You gotta go. You really gotta go. Yeah, so
wow.
everybody around the world, they all look like everybody else, like us,
Yeah.
Uchinanchus and everything, but
Yeah.
you know,
I see
everybody speaks
they're
Spanish
holding a
there,
Hawaii
or they
flag.
speak Portuguese there. Everybody's just beautiful smiles. You just feel the heart of everybody.
Invel. So is this another Okinawan
Bingo.
company?
That is another Okinawa company,
Mm.
and they are a company which does infrared, what do you call, clothing in for bodies, make your blood flow and everything, circulation better. So
Oh.
Inville, they just transferred their headquarters from Brazil to Orlando, Florida.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, and this one is also the Iguas Falls
Eagles. Mm.
in Brazil.
Igos Falls. Okay.
Yes, this
Oh,
was one of the gatherings here in Okinawa when we had the Brazil, was Argentina and Peru
mhm.
students come in Okinawa, and we were just exchanging some information and doing some mixing here in Okinawa.
I think it's a real credit to the people of Okinawa that they work. They maintain those ties with the Uchinanchu all over the world, and
Mm-hmm.
I've known so many people who are just so impressed by that,
Mm.
um, and this willingness to like reach out to each other and really genuinely network, not just you know
Right,
because
right.
there's other diasporas right around the world, but
Sure, sure.
Uchinanchu tend to really make an effort to connect and reconnect and keep connections going
Mm.
over the
Yes.
generations, and that is something I'm
True.
really proud of.
Very true, very true. Yeah. I feel that every time I go out and then meet people, they just welcome you just because, you are Uchinanchu.
Yeah,
And,
there's a kinship there, right? Yeah.
yeah, there is. There is. Yeah.
And
Very cool.
and we don't have to go very far to wonder why that is, because you know Mr. Sakuda here
Mm-hmm.
started something called hashtag Uchina
Now,
1000.
Wow.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
now
Can
1000.
can you tell us about well, I know about it, but can you tell everybody else about? I think this is an amazing effort.
Yes. Hashtag Uchina 1000. Well, this was created by myself and my Mariko-san and also Desmond. What we did is we got together and we said, we need to connect all of our worldwide Uchinanchu families. Okay. Starting with WAB, of course. And then because we're not physically able to meet. And I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, right? When
Yeah,
when Hawaii
2020.
was supposed to have the 120th anniversary,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And then with that, we said we were planning to all gather there, but we can't gather anymore. And then, so what do we do? This virtual technology that was just that I'm sure it was around before we started, but and then I said I need to learn what the Zoom thing is all about. And then so at that time, when I pulled out Zoom, it said you can connect 1,000 people. Hey, that's cool in one seating, right? So I said, okay, let's connect Uchinanchu's 1,000 people in one seating. So you see the picture behind it, all the blue in the back. These are all people, right?
Mm.
So
Yep.
we want to really target 1,000 people in one seating. So we've already had 6 Uchinanchu gatherings, hashtag Uchina 1000s. And then of that, we have already had, of course, around the world now, gathering all the people around the world. And then in that, we have guest speakers. Well, John was one of our guest speakers for that. And then we speak English and Japanese. We translate it into Japanese. And then maybe if we have a friend who is there in Portuguese or from speaking Spanish, we have some of that translated. But we just do that for about an hour and breakout sessions just to feel what everybody is. And then we just give a small talk of what do you call introducing what Okinawa questions are. What is this soba? Is this from Miyako? Is this from Naha? What kind of soba? Just where is Goya? And just random some fun things that we all do. So we have already had 6 of those gatherings, and then with that, we've already gathered I think over 600 plus people total. But we're still a little far away to go. But with everybody's participation, with everybody's willingness to gather and then meet and see new friends and family even across the world, it's worth doing. There was one gathering in which we had a couple of people on one screen, and then this younger person was the one, I think the daughter was bringing on their parents because they didn't know how to use this new
Mm-hmm.
technology. And so you see 2 or 3 generations in one screen there. I said, wow, this is great, gathering everybody and just to see and everybody's, seeing. And so when they get on, I just look at them and just welcome them here in Okinawa. And then I try to get them see what Okinawa's like right now. I go out my window, I show them what Okinawa's looking like and everything. So Yeah, just
Yeah,
I mean,
spread.
it's definitely one of the silver linings, right, of the pandemic is that we all
Yeah.
kind of comfortable with this technology,
Yes.
meet virtually, and it's made some of our other meetings, much easier to join. A little bit hard when it's over sometimes 2 a.m. right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's okay, like it's possible. The fact that
That's correct.
it's possible,
That's
um,
correct.
and we
and
put
it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not trying to sell anything, and it's really
getting
exactly
people
what
together.
Tony said. Is you're just getting together, and these breakout rooms are great. You just go into this breakout room and you meeting people. Different people every time, and but so I don't want people to feel like this is a select group. Anybody can join this, right, Tony?
Anybody. What we want to try to do is, of course, not we all Uchinanchus, but one other step that we want to get into, and I really especially want to push, is Uchinanchus at heart. Okay,
Mm.
there's so many people in the world who've touched Okinawa physically, and I mean, even maybe from a distance. Let's say even the people who are born even in Hawaii, right? They never may have touched Okinawa yet, but they are married to an Uchinanchu, or they've
Mhm.
touched karate, they've
Mhm.
touched awamori maybe somehow, and they feel like the Uchinanchu culture, and that
Music.
we would welcome
Mhm.
music, yes, the dance and the
Mhm.
food. Why don't we welcome them as Uchinanchus? Uchinanchus in blood or born or whatever, or at heart. Somebody.
Mhm.
We just gather everybody around the world, and how peaceful would that be in the world, right?
So when is
So
your
if
next
oh, go ahead.
Uchina 1000?
Uchina
Uh,
next thousand. We're still planning on that.
uh-huh.
Hopefully April, May, but we want to do one more before the Taikai.
Yeah,
We
before
need to
Taika.
do one more before the Taikai.
And how are people gonna find out more about it and join?
I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can send it to them.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. So we'll put it in our newsletter.
There you
Watch our
go.
Facebook page,
Onegaishimasu.
HUOA Facebook page.
We,
You
we
try and
gotta
share
get
it
you
to
higher
the
tech,
world.
Tony.
There
Make
you
sure
go.
you have your hashtag Uchina 1000 website up so
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
peop-
really.
people can go there and
And then we send it. You send it to all your friends in Brazil, Peru, Argentina,
There you
right?
go. Yeah, that's it.
LA,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
New York. I know there's people from all over the place.
okay,
San
we'll
Jose.
promise our viewers as soon as we find out about the next hashtag Uchina 1000, we'll post the Zoom link and we'll
Great.
we'll we'll talk about it, and so that you folks are all excited and you know when it'll be. It's usually on a weekend, and yes, I've had people in the breakout room that it's like 10 p.m. at night for them, but they're all joining in. Some are in the morning, some are saying good night, some are saying good morning. Some it's the same day, some it's the next day. So it's really a lot of fun, but we will keep everybody in tune, and we'll get to that 1000, Tony.
That's it. Great. I
You're
appreciate
sure
that.
you have the Zoom that has that capacity, right? I think there's different levels.
That's
That's
it.
why.
That's right. Different levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still in the beginning level, so but we want to
Okay.
expand.
Mhm.
Yes.
So along with that, you started another wonderful project, and
What is that?
let's bring that up on the screen before we say what it is, because
Yes.
this was designed by Desmond, and this
Yes, it was.
logo, but the concept behind it is amazing. So why don't you tell them about it, Tony?
Okay. Yes. World Uchinanchu Week, right? So World Uchinanchu Day. Everybody has heard of this already. World Uchinanchu Day, October 30th. And this was initiated, I should say established, when Governor Onaga, on the last Taikai, on the sixth Taikai, he announced October 30th is the World Uchinanchu Day. And then
Hmm.
said, wow, great, all Uchinanchus, right, who were there present at the Taikai said, great, this is a great day. And then the next year came around, the year after came around. And then what's happening around the world is that, yes, people in the world, Uchinanchu world, are saying, yes, this is the Uchinanchu Day, let's celebrate it. But here in Okinawa, it was very, very quiet. Yes, it is Uchinanchu Day, but how do you celebrate? So again, myself, Mariko-san, team, Desmond, and a couple of other guys, we got together and we said, how do we celebrate? What is a celebration? Celebration is something that we get together to talk about a theme. There's a theme, and there's food, and then there's family, and there's, it's a gathering. So World Uchinanchu Day, how do we celebrate it? Why don't we say, what does Uchinanchus around the world have in common that we can eat? Is it Goya, right? Yeah, some places do have Goya, maybe not. Is it andagi? Maybe, people like andagi, but not everybody can make andagi, right? Is it, soba? Maybe they have noodles, but they may not have the soup. They may not have this and that. So we said, no, you know what it is? I think it's pork. They have hot dogs. They have ribs. They have spam. They have all kinds of things around the world. It doesn't have to be the big pig itself, right? And then people can celebrate by eating pork together at the time, right? So we said, okay, if we do this, why don't we have so what is the story? There you go. I know a friend of mine, right? His grandpa sent 550 pigs across the ocean to Okinawa right after the war. In 1945, Okinawa was decimated. It was nothing. And then not just only from Hawaii, but from all around the Uchinanchus, they came to support Okinawa. But stood out, and it was the pork, right? One of these days, what we wanted to do is have people eat pork on October 30th. Once people start eating in all the stores, like, maybe in Hawaii, on Thanksgiving, what do people eat?
Turkey.
Not only Hawaii, but in the States, right?
Right.
And then in Valentine's Day, what is another theme that you would really eat or do? Chocolates, right?
Yeah.
On Mother's Day, what do you give your mothers?
We give
Flowers.
Yeah.
Things like that, right?
Well, I know
Right?
Japan is Christmas is
There you
fried
go.
chicken, right? So
There you go.
Kentucky
That's
Fried
right.
Chicken.
Japan is fried chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken, to be specific, right? So, but on Uchinanchu Day, we're going to eat pork. So if all the supermarkets, even here in Okinawa, Japan, the world, right? If they all could say, okay, let's eat pork on this day, and all the supermarkets and everywhere you see just pork being advertised. Why? Because it's Uchinanchu Day. What happened on Uchinanchu Day? Maybe one of the grandkids sitting with his grandpa one of these many years later is going to say, Grandpa, why do we eat pork on this day? He said, well, because right after the war, Okinawa was nothing. And then 550 pigs were sent across the ocean to give us food. And that started the peace of Okinawa, right? So with that, once we have peace, we have the pork, P-O-R-K, peace of the Ryukyu Kingdom, right? So it's war and peace. It's peace of the Ryukyu Kingdom. So that's why the pork is coming across. And then, Okinawa loves peace, right? Even karate, there's no weapons. Everything's all peaceful. You don't go offense first. Everything's defense. Everything is all peace. So we wanted to celebrate this. So why did it become a week? Because we had a friend in our team says in Brazil there is a food week. So in Brazil they had a week. So we said, why don't we do a week then? Okay. And so this year we took this up to the prefecture, and they said they're going to extend this, change the date, October 25th, which starts with Karate Day, and then extend it to November the 1st, which is the Ryukyu Culture and History Day, right? So we wanted to extend it that. So it's going to be 1 week of the worldwide Uchinanchu Week. So that's what we're going to do. So we want to celebrate all around the world. What we did last year was we only planned this in September last year, and we really took it off in October, only about a month and just a little bit. And we had our friends in Brazil, in South America, and also in Hawaii, and in Tokyo and elsewhere, restaurants who wants to support this. We gave these posters to their restaurants. They just put it up, and then they said, okay, we want to eat. We will help you serve pork.
Look at that.
Wow, great. All right.
Rainbows Drive-In. And this is Utage, Jocelyn and her daughter Edna.
Yes.
And then
Nice.
Sunrise.
Beautiful. Yes. So we have all these supporting restaurant people. They don't have to have Uchinanchu food. As long as they just have hot dogs, if they're serving what anything
Is that
pork.
pork? I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then if they just support that for one
Damn.
week, everybody
Oh,
around
come
the
on,
world
man.
is gonna say, think about peace. Think about Okinawa. Think how peaceful these guys are. That's what we want to try to do. So again, this year we're gonna take it off, and then we have little time now for more people around the world who likes Uchinanchu and Uchinanchu's at heart. And just if we just keep spreading the word, that'll be a great thing.
Yeah, see,
Interesting.
now next time you go to Costco and buy a foot-long hot dog, you'll be thinking about peace
Well, they
of the
sell,
Ryukyu
sorry, I think
Kingdom.
that's beef. That's beef hot dogs, though.
Oh.
You gotta check, though. You
They
gotta
don't
check
have pork ones?
Turkey hot dog.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check now.
anymore. You gotta be careful.
Okay, I just have the spam musubi then.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. That's still
But
pork.
that again, everyone, look for that. We're gonna really help Tony promote that project, because it's such a amazing. It's an economic boost as well, because we're
Yes, it is.
saying use that week to promote your favorite restaurant or the markets, and
Mhm.
I think it's such a great idea all the way around. Um,
And
but
connecting
anyway,
with the story of the pigs from the sea is also another great way, like you said, to it prompts the question, why is that, right? And then you can
Yeah.
share the story. So
yeah.
Sharing the stories, and then the generations are talking to each other. The grandpa, the first, second, third generation with their children. So that just the stories just keep going on and on. That's what Yuntaku is all about, right? Getting together. Yeah.
for those of you who know, we did a whole episode on the story, the pigs from the sea story, the actual, where John's grandfather was one of the men who actually took a bunch of pigs, but it was really not just those men, but the whole community event that this galvanized the Okinawan community, and not just for pigs, but for school supplies, medicine, goats.
Yep.
All kinds of things, but the pigs are probably one of the hardest. I mean, the goats too, right? To
Yeah,
actually take
sure.
livestock by
Yep.
boat across the Pacific Ocean. No small task.
That's right.
Okay.
Earlier we mentioned, while you traveled around the world, and
Mhm.
you had an amazing Olympic experience at the Atlanta
Yes.
Olympics.
Yes.
And then years later, like
Years
Lynn was
later,
mentioning,
yes.
it comes back around, and you
Not
get
as an athlete. Not as an athlete.
Not as an athlete. Oh, okay. Just let's clear that up first. Not
well,
as an
you
athlete.
still had to run. You still had to
That's
run.
right. That's right. That's true.
So
That's true.
let's bring up the
Tell us
photos.
about your experience as
look at-
a
Yes.
Look at
Olympic
that. How many people get
torchbearer.
to have that badge?
Yeah, really, huh? I was a torchbearer for Okinawa, and then I had the opportunity to be a torchbearer, and I ran on May 1st of 2021. But we were supposed to do it in 2020, but because of the
Right.
corona, everything changed. So this is the bus that I was riding in with all our runners on May 1st. Because of the pandemic, we were not able to run in public roads, but we were all in this one big park that we had to run at. And then on the left hand side or right hand side, you could see all the torches that are laid out, and all the gold torches there. Yeah, so this was our bus that we had, a group of guys, and then we just all together said, okay, we're gonna run and then this is the box. That's the emblem that's on the torch itself, and that's the box
Wow.
that came in. Yes.
Oh,
And
look
that's me
at
right
that.
there. Yeah.
How big a smile is that?
That is awesome, Tony.
It was great. It was great. What you
You
could
know,
see here. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I wish I was there to see it. With you actually holding the torch and wearing the shirt. I wish I was there.
Was it heavy?
Yes. Well, let me see. Let me see. Just wait. Just take me off camera right now. Let me just go and get my torch.
Oh, okay, go. We'll come back.
What was really funny? He was talking about this photo, and I said, "It's such a great photo," and they're right in front of you. And he goes,
Yeah.
"Well, there's this van that's in front of them, right?
Oh, I was
And
gonna say.
and the doors open, and there's like about 10 photographers hanging out of this van taking the picture, and then there's two people running alongside of him, and they all have their CIA earphones in and whatever, and they're going, smile a little bigger. Oh wait, don't smile so big. Oh, run a little faster, slow down. So he's trying to run and he's been giving. Oh,
Hey! That's so cool. Is it heavy?
wow!
No, it's about a kilo and a little bit more.
Oh,
Yes, it's not bad.
sugoi.
It's beautiful.
For our American viewers, a kilo is
2.2
just
pounds.
yes, it's
Look at
under
it. That's
3
the
pounds.
shape of a sakura.
Oh, sakura nanda.
Wow!
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, you would see. I would never have known that if you didn't say that. The
So did you have
sakura.
to get the flame from one person to the other, or did they
Yes,
light
I
it
did.
for
Yes, we did. We had
Oh.
to. Yeah.
you? Wow.
What they did is
So-
they put they got the canister here. They put the gas here, and then the gas is inside. And when you run, I had to get the torch from the next person, and then I transferred it over. Yes.
Wow. So how did you become an Olympic torchbearer?
Because I'm Tony. No. No. I'm sorry. This was, I wanted to be a runner when they announced it, right? I've
Mhm.
heard about it, and then I said, how do you become a runner? So I was walking around Sanye, one of the supermarkets here, right? And then there
My
was
favorite place.
a booth from one of the telephone carriers, and then I
Mhm.
picked one up, and it's an application for the torchbearer. This was in 2018, I think.
Wow.
Saying you had to make your application, and I sent in an application, right? And with that application, you just have to say why you want to be a torchbearer, right? So
Hmm.
just write a long story because I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be part of this famous this worldwide. I just did a great story, I think. And then 218 finished, 219 came around, and then on December 25th of 219
Okay.
in the morning,
Right before the
right-
pandemic is
right before the pandemic, because the following year 220 is supposed to be the Olympics,
Mhm.
right? On 25 Christmas Day, right? In my email, it pops and says, congratulate, says from the Tokyo Olympic 220 team, torchbearer announcement. Congratulations, Mr. Sakuda. You have been selected as a torchbearer. So, yeah!
Wow!
Christmas present. That is a great
Christmas
Christmas
present.
present.
Wow!
Yeah, because I was always imagining myself, right, when I'm running on the beach. I don't have a torch, but I'm just imagining I'm running.
Dun, dun,
I gotta
dun,
put that in my image. I'm running.
You hear the chariots of fire behind
Yeah.
you.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Wow! Did you almost forget about it before you received the letter saying you've been selected?
I was thinking, what's gonna happen? How do they select it? And I'm just going in my emails. There's nothing. So for a couple of months later, then all of a sudden it pops up. But I said, yes, okay, it's gonna happen. But as soon as the year 220 came around, and then the pandemic,
Yeah.
they're thinking, are they gonna have their Olympics or not? Not yes, no, yes, no,
Oh,
yes,
that was
no.
a tough. Yeah.
And so 220 passed, and again the torchbearer runner office, they sent out an email, said, yes, we're going to do this, we're going to do it on this date. How do we do it? Where's your schedule? We're going to run I represented Ginowan, so I'm going to run Ginowan, and then this is the route and everything, checking out my routes and everything. And then again, pandemic closed it. You're not going to run the cities and towns, you're going to run in a little park with all these guys. I said, okay, but still,
Well,
we were able
hats
to.
off to the organizers too.
Yes.
I know how stressful
Yes.
that must have been.
Yes.
Changing plans how many times. So
Yes. Yeah.
But what a picture! What a photo! I mean, it's
yeah,
just
that is awesome.
it's amazing.
Okay.
It was fun. It was great. It was a great experience.
Well, I know we're all, speaking of the pandemic, we're all anxious to go to Okinawa, right? We're all
Yes.
looking forward to. We're not quite sure when we're gonna be able to go again, and I think the big question on everybody's mind, right, is like, are we gonna be able to go to Taikai in October 2022?
Well, what the prefecture office is saying is that the Taikai is going to happen.
Mhm.
Okay, so we are all waiting for you to come back into Okinawa, and of course, the pandemic and everything, willing that we'll be able to travel.
Mhm.
Many of the countries are starting to lift their
Mhm.
securities and everything
Mhm.
before the pandemic,
Mhm.
making it better. But we just hope that this will keep, and travel will come back, and we'll be physically able to sit down and eat and meet and drink and laugh.
Izakaya and yeah.
Izakaya, And I'll take you all guys to all the small izakayas.
Yes.
All little places. Yes, Tony.
And
That's
I'll look for more and everything. Yeah.
well, I know
And
if anybody can make it happen, you can.
we'll make it. We just have to imagine it, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine it, and it's gonna happen.
So thank you for pushing, from where you are in Okinawa. I know everybody wants us, the worldwide Uchinanchu to come together again, and it's just a matter of doing it safely.
That's right.
Somebody was like, if they make me quarantine for 3 days or whatever, I'll do it. Like that's the.
That's it. Yeah.
We don't know yet. Don't quote me on that, folks. But that's just we're gonna have to be prepared for the rules might change on us, but I think everyone's willing to be flexible.
Yeah.
And that's something we just all had to learn to live with for the last 2 years. So.
And the giant tug of war people are planning to do that again this year. So that is on their schedule. So we're still saying when that specific day is gonna be. It might change, but it might stay the same date on the second Sunday. But we'll see, because this year is going to be the 50th year after reversion.
That's right.
So it's going to be many things for celebrating, and hopefully that we'll have that 1 week to eat pork with everybody, right?
Yes. Well, okay, guys, you heard it here. So we'll be eating pork for Worldwide Uchinanchu Week. Worldwide Uchinanchu Day on the 30th. We're all still looking forward very much so to seeing each other meet again. Tony, I definitely want you to bring me to some of those small izakayas. Those are the best. 500 yen soba. I'm there.
There you go.
There. And the Odeon beer, Okinawa soba and Odeon beer, I'm there.
Of course.
But we all, thank you again for I feel like you're our connection to what's going on in Okinawa a lot, So thank you for being a connector of our worldwide Uchinanchu community.
Of course. I always enjoy it. That's all it is, right? It brings you more energy just by seeing all these smiles and everything. Like John has also experienced taking people around the world and everything, and just seeing their smiles. Even you've been there many times, just giving them that another insight and just another happiness there. That's what just keeps us going. So
yeah. I want to end by saying, exactly that, Tony. I want to share my happiness with the next person, and part of that happiness is sharing the people I meet with other people. So I'm so glad that you were able to join us tonight on Yuntaku Live, and that people have been able to meet Tony Sakuda, Tony Sakuda. And so don't be surprised when people run up to you. It's complete strangers going, hey, So I'm so glad that again, more of us know who you are, and we just look forward to participating in #Uchina1000. Get those 1,000 people, and we'll continue to strive for peace, for fellowship, and of course, building our Uchinanchu Network and Uchinanchu at Heart Network all around the world. So
beautiful.
Big mahalo ipe nihe debiru for joining us tonight, all the way from Naha, Okinawa. I know people, tune in and they hear you talking. They think you just live in Manoa, but you do not. So again, you are calling from Ginowan, right? I believe. And I really appreciate your participation, and thank you so much again. Also to our co-host Lynn and all our viewers. Again, Ipeni he debiru, and thank you for joining us on Yuntaku Live.
Aloha! Please kokua and help us reach new viewers by subscribing to our HUOA YouTube page. Look for the red subscribe button on the bottom right. It's free. Your subscription supports our mission to share Uchinanchu Aloha around the world. Also, don't forget to give our videos a thumbs up. Mahalo and yuta surugutu urige sabida.